We're at 1077. We're up against Jay Chan. Okay. It's just two knights, pawn in the middle, bishop out. That's it. Get castled. Now this is something that's hit us a few times. This setup right here, our opponent has taken advantage of us too many times. We need the queen side snork for this. We cannot fall victim to this. Right? So now we have a place to put that thing. It's castle. Bishop here. Interesting. Let's get our real snorkel in there, not to be confused. And I was thinking of playing a little d3 here, but you know, we can get the pawn into the middle fully. He hasn't really done anything to stop that. So let's go for it. Let's go for it. What comes next? This bishop. Can it go here? No. Here looks pretty good. We could also pin. I think both of those ideas look quite reasonable. Okay, bishop's coming back. Let's go ahead and get this bishop. I mean, it could really go anywhere, but I think this looks pretty nice. Hitting the center. And an age-old idea. It feels like we hit probably 4 or 5 games in a row that really gave us PTSD. And I remember them vividly. It really hurt us. So bad that we immediately had to go into the lab and workshop something. And when the queen and bishop line up like this, they're always threatening to go to the max distance on that diagonal, which is a huge issue. In this case, it's an issue because it's checkmate. So yes, the rare case of the super snork. We don't feel great about this, but we know that it has to happen. The super snorkel. And believe me, this is going to cause other problems in our position, but it's just something we got to do because we're not about to sit here and allow that to happen. So in comes the super snorkel. Extra room, lots of air to breathe, but comes with some weaknesses. So we don't love doing this, but sometimes it is absolutely necessary. Knight here. Let's go ahead and just bring our rooks into the middle of the board. Aha. Well, we'll definitely take a free piece here. Okay, let's run for the hills. Let's run for the hills. Go easy on me, pal. Okay. Maybe a draw. You know, we've both been working hard here. No need to no need to overdo it, right? Okay. Rook's being hit here. I can think of a couple decent ideas, but hitting the queen looks quite reasonable. See what he wants to do. I mean, I can actually only see one move, and after this, much as I don't like it, we've got to protect the snork here. So king up to protect that, I think, is almost necessary. Okay, our queen needs to move. Let's stay central, I guess. Yeah, can't go into the center, so next best thing. Just do that. Okay, okay, not gonna take that. What can we do? What can we do? I'm not too sure, to be honest. Let's just hit him with that RPM, random pawn move, because we don't know what to do at all. Ooh. Rook here. Honestly, looking pretty scary, but fact of the matter is, I got trades in front of me. I got trades in front of me here. Well, I'm not gonna move into a red dot, so yeah, we'll just I'll be going this way. Yeah, don't mind me. Just got this thing over here. Got to get to. Yeah, just to have this thing. Okay, let's take here. Okay, only one square. I'm taking everything I can, you know. I'm working hard here. Okay, I got no movement with the king. So this is the only move that does not lose material right now. Let's see. Okay. We're still on the run here. We're still on the run. And, you know, even if you're getting attacked, you're completely dead. It's definitely why I recommend playing on, because you're either going to get mated or maybe the guy's going to let you off the hook. I don't know. He's attacking. I'm trying to run away to safety. I don't know. I'm hitting a rook. Let's not forget here. Yeah, a little squint. Yeah. Wait a minute. I didn't mean to do that. I squinted so far that my eyes closed. Bruh. Let's recompose. Okay, what's the damage here? Let's first get all these captures out of the way. Any capture, take that to the middle of the board there. Yeah, any captures, we'll just get right on out of there. Big capture there. Opponent's thinking he's not planning on just taking our knight, which means I expect a big time move from the guy. I expect something big here. Whoa, now that's a big move. I mean, hey, buddy, that's a queen from you. What are we talking about here? Save our knight, not hang more material. Oh my God, it's insane. What? These people resigning. I have no words. We've got 24 seconds. How can you resign? I don't get it. I don't get it. You have to be able to look at this series honestly and say, if you don't resign, you're adding 100 points to your rating by definition. Not subjective, by definition. If you have a 42-second against 24-second position here against the 1,000, is the 1,000 winning every single time with white? No, definitely not. What are we talking about? How could you possibly resign? I mean, I just don't get it. I really don't. At least, I mean, and this was after my huge mistake here. Taking. I did not mean to do that. Legitimate slip. And then the guy just like played a couple moves and he's completely winning here. He played a couple moves instead of taking our pawn. We just took, and the guy resigned. I mean, it's nuts. It's nuts. So just do yourself a favor and never resign. It's the smartest thing you can do. Hopefully this is at least some kind of proof. I'm trying to convince you that you shouldn't resign. Because you have to be able to look at this game and be like, buddy, there's no way you should resign. 24 seconds? You haven't even seen whether I can pre-move or not. Like, you haven't seen anything. You don't know what moves I'm about to do. There could be blunders. Remember, this guy's 1,000. He's making all these blunders, and then he's resigning. Isn't it a crazy concept? Because I'm 1,000 too. Why are you assuming that I'm not capable of the same blunders? I am. We're the same rating. People blunder, and then they resign because they assume that their opponent's not capable of the same thing. You're literally the same rating, brother. I said this before, but it's like two of the best teams in a sport play each other. One of the teams is going to score first. Does the other team just stop playing? Oh, they scored first. They win. It's like, well, they're a great team. They're going to score at some point. You're a great team. You can score too. What are we what are we talking about here? $1,085, and I feel like I've been dead in all of these. This one in particular, yeah, it's looking pretty lost here. I'm not gonna lie. This was like peak dead. And then all of a sudden we were okay. And then all of a sudden we were dead again. And then the game ended. All right. Brazilian Monk, thanks for the 100 bits. R. Hudson, 1987, thanks for the 30 months with Prime. Look back in here, Mr. Hudson. And 39 months from Peruvian Fallopian Tubian. The original. We're not quite at that level. Not quite at the PFT level. Number one habit. We're not quite there yet. Coming soon. Missed class during the weekend? What kind of comment is that? There's never class on the weekend. You're good, brother. You're good. Okay, well, let's continue with pawn in the center, of course. Okay, knight here. We'll bring our knight towards the middle here. Same with our other knight. Okay, so this is interesting. This is actually the same thing that we saw last time. I'm not going to lie. This is exactly what walks into this. Not going to lie, very, very easy to fall for it. But if we think about our snorkel, we could save ourselves from that happening. It really is just the presence of these pawns that it's just going to cause me to hit that queenside snorkel. Okay, we have a capture. That goes without saying. We also have our snork. Okay, let's get that bishop back. Okay, let's get that bishop back. Bishop out. Well, feels to me like a get that pawn into the center moment. Right? If your opponent, once again, look how deep we are into the game. Move 11. Our opponent has no claim to the center on his side of things. Your pawns should be in the middle. Like that's just the truth. Okay, we can't go here, so I'm going to go here instead. We want to get the rook here, queen up, rook over. Can't say that I'm particularly proud of my bishop here, but I am proud of my center. That's, you know, that's a beautiful center right there. Okay, that's a capture. Goes without saying. Rook into the middle, queen up, rook over, right? This should make a lot of sense. And I feel like we have a pretty good position here. Well, you know, apart from this. Apart from the fact that we don't have a bishop. So, you know, I feel that. I feel that in my body. Okay, well, time for some RPMs. Okay, let's make sure to take that one there. This guy's got like, he's got the special stuff here. What? So the guy's completely ignoring the RPM over here. I mean, what could he possibly be up to? Bishop takes here. I mean, this guy's crazy. Just insane. Fair. Fair. Okay, we'll keep our head up here. We don't need to completely lose our minds. No, just going to yeah, don't mind me. Just gonna double my rooks here like nothing happened. Just gonna carry on. Doubling my rooks, like, you know, like there's really no issues here. Okay, the bishop moves back. Well, I guess in a position like this, we have nothing to do but take a free pawn in the center and say thank you very much. Thank you very much to my opponent for this gracious blunder. What the... What? Did not see this at all. Okay, this looks a little bit scary to be over there. What the... Okay. I suppose we're going to take this free piece. Okay. We'll take this one as well. Okay. So we just won a bishop and we won the exchange. Perfect. Let's activate our bishop here. Feeling pretty good about this. What the fuck checkmate is this? I feel like I'm playing a caveman. First of all, what was this? Are you telling me that this guy cooked the entire thing up from here? Like, look, can we take a moment here? Bishop back to c1. Into knight f4. And by the way, just he's like a, you know, got the walking stick here. Knight here. Bishop, I mean, he cooked the whole thing up. Knight f6. What? Oh my god. And then check this move out. In this position right here. Boom. Backwards bishop move to facilitate the rook over. hangs every single one of his pieces, all for checkmate. I'm telling you, this guy has got some special ability. I mean, the vision to even come up with this idea is so wild. Very impressed. No surprise from the great chess nation of Iran. Avoiding the opponent's basic tactics. What basic tactic did our opponent have? G6 stopped any mating. What are you talking about, brother? G6? G6. Buddy, we should not ever be playing this move. The only example is a bishop here. That's it. Literally it. Dark Mind, once again, is coming in here hot-headed, talking about G6 stops everything. Buddy, G6 will get you roasted and toasted. Oh my god. The only thing G6 does is mean you don't get the bishop. The same thing happens to you. Ay, ay, ay. If you think bishop c1, knight f4, knight h5, bishop sack here into fork here is a basic tactic, I have nothing more to say to you. If that's a basic tactic, you and I are operating different tax brackets, I think. That was impressive. You gotta just tip your hat to gameplay like that. You guys are hilarious. You think that white turned on an engine? What are we talking about here, guys? Bishop c1 is terrible. Knight f4 is a blunder. Knight h5 is a massive blunder. Bishop takes h6 is a good move. But what are we saying here? You think losing a bishop and a rook, you think this was... Do you think this is cheating? I mean, you guys are dumber than I thought. Come on now. Let's have a little decorum. And how about we just appreciate genius when it's right in front of us? This guy played the battlefield. He brought the knight all the way out. It's a 6-move combination to win our queen. At 1,000? I don't care if it's not good. That's just impressive. That type of plan making to even see this idea. This guy solidifies the fundamentals, like not hanging stuff, whatever. He could go far. You got to be impressed by that. Exactly, goal. Exactly. Just got to appreciate. You got it, Joe. We just got outplayed. Better player won. We don't have to stress. You think you're not going to take an L? Of course you are. Don't be unrealistic. Let's move on to the next one. Not going to get too down about that. Don't hate, appreciate. Hell yeah. Let's go. Pawn in the center. The knight comes next. We already know our other knight is joining after. Then the bishop. Bishop here. A little snorkel for you. Don't mind if I do. Let's get castled. And on our next move, I think you guys know that we're going to get the pawn in the middle. Amon, this is bullying. I know. I'm getting bullied. Rook into the middle. Might develop this bishop. Maybe a pin. Using our level 2 habits. The nice pin. And we get to utilize the whole reason why we even play moves like this at level 2 is to take advantage. I mean, it's one thing to sit here and play d3. It's what you should be doing. It's level 1. Nice and easy. But at level 2, as I say, if your opponent's making absolutely no claim to the center at all, and even if they are with like one pawn, take the center. It's yours. Right? And all of a sudden, you get a pin like this. You push a pawn like this. And you start to see why we're sitting here so happy to be in level 2 habits. Pawn moves up. Our bishop is hit. Let's take this and arrive at exactly what we want to do. Takes and takes one more time. He doesn't do that. We go for a trade. Bring our rook into the middle, our queen up, our rook over. And that's all we need to do. Okay, and here we go. Every piece exactly where it needs to be. Time for the RPMs. Okay, this bishop is hit. Stay near the center. Can't go in the center, so we'll make the next most logical move. Hitting the center exactly. Bishop here. I'm a simple guy, you know. Just looking for some basic RPMs. I'm really going to hold on to it this time. Not going to let go. Yeah, that squint doesn't look right here. Okay, hang on a sec. Nothing looks right. Wait a minute. Did we get outsmarted here? Well, I can't lose my queen, so I have to move it. Got to stay central here. This move, this move. I guess, you know, both of them kind of hit the center. You could argue, you know, this one does a little bit more, but both look like the central moves that we need to make. So I guess we'll go ahead and lock it in. But yeah, I guess it was always going to be one of those two moves. Okay, queen takes here, but we can actually take this one. Okay. Okay. Not bad, not bad. See what he wants to do. We're ready to trade literally at all times. Like, I've never been more ready. Always take those pieces. I'm really curious what he's going to do. I got more RPMs in the tank here. Queen back. I mean, it is RPM city over here. Okay. Take that. Just keep hitting the RPMs. Random pawn moves. Random pawn moves. Nothing can possibly go wrong. We're making random pawn moves. Only good things can happen here. Rook d5. Okay, I'm kind of out of RPMs here. Don't really want to move anymore. What else can we do? Time to double our rooks in the center. Our opponent has gone for this move. Rook to d5. I suppose the benefit of something like this is that our opponent has walked in to a skewer. Now hang on, I actually liked it better when I didn't have tactics. Timeout. Timeout. Can we yeah, just can I replay that with level 1 and then continue with level 2 after? Maybe like a little hiatus from level 2, a little break. Yeah. Okay. Well, I really just wanted to be 1069 ELO again. I missed it. I missed it. Hello, Maro, and welcome in. Nice. Is it a skewer if they're the same value? Okay, think about it. You have a skewer, and then you have pieces of chicken on it, right? Is the piece of chicken at the top different from the piece of chicken on the bottom? No, it's a skewer. I don't know what you guys are talking about. It's all chicken, baby. Can we be upset with this one? Not at all. We had a very solid game. It got a little murky right here. The random pawn moves, but, you know, shout out to our opponent for hitting like this. You know what could have happened? Even though it wasn't a sacrifice on h3, we could have thought to ourselves, oh, it'd be nice to replace some of those pawns. But that's sort of like taking a habit and interpreting it a little bit. Possible to get there, but it wasn't really a sacrifice on h3, which is why I didn't really think of it, you know? Queen takes c7. Hey, you guys want to go take a pawn? Be my guest. Is that going to serve you in the long run? No, it will not. You're going to be taking pawns when there's random pawn moves to make. Like I said, if you're willing to quit on the habits because you see one opportunity where you can do better than them, you're misunderstanding. All you guys are able to see are the moves where you could do better than the habits. It's a huge problem that people have watching this series. Because you're sitting here and anytime there's a move that you don't really like, that's not the best, you're sitting there going, why not this move? It's better. Why wouldn't I just do this? It's better. Congratulations. You found a move that's better than the move we played. But you know what you're not appreciating is that every time we play a good move, you wouldn't have done it. You would have done a different, shittier move. So, wake up. You're just not seeing it. You don't realize every time that we're making a good move, you're not playing at that level. You're not matching that. All you're focused on are the moves where you could do better. You're not realizing that you would do worse the entire game. So, am I really sitting here having a discussion about queen takes c7? Let's have a discussion about why I'm up a piece here on move 23, living life happily. Would you be up a piece on move 23 in this game? Probably not. Probably not. Habits. You get caught up on a single move, you're misunderstanding the series entirely. It's a culmination. We're improving your overall moves, the overall average. Getting held up on one move, why didn't we do this, why didn't we do that, is crazy. Don't misunderstand your responsibility. You don't always need the best move. You just need a high quality general idea. And that's what we have. You just need the habits. So, let's do it. Pawn into the middle. Oh, that's it. A capture. Immediately take. The knights are going to come out. There's the queen. We don't like moving our queen this early, so I usually play the bishop instead, and then our other knight follows. Our king gets castled. Think you know that we're going to get a pawn into the middle of the board. We need some sort of claim, right, to the position. Get our snorkel in there. Rook into the middle. This bishop needs to move. It can't really make it into the center there. This bishop also needs to improve. Hang on a sec. Red dot. Get the heck out of there. No problem. This is a very, very useful move whenever a queen or a rook is aimed at your king with only your one pawn in the way or a piece in the way or something. That's a pretty scary spot to be in. You'd be doing well to get out of there. You don't do that, you're going to get mated so many times like this. Oh my God. So many times. Moves the pawn up. What's needed here? More development. Let's get that bishop. Hitting the center square here. It's a little bit better than this, right? Also hits the center, but I'll always choose this over this, basically, if I have the option. In this case, our bishop's only developed here. This would hit the queen and also hit the center, so it's definitely on my mind, but bishop c4, just a more active square. Okay, it's moved here. Let's get our rook out. Queen up, rook over. And we can improve this bishop. It has moved already, so I'm focusing on my other pieces, but, you know, we have good bishop moves to play. We know exactly what we want to do. Knight here. Just going to focus on our rook move. There we go. Into the center. Okay, our opponent plays knight takes c2, and with my hawk-like vision, I'm able to hit the queen and the knight at the same time. Nice little fork right here. And it's nice that it's almost the move I would play next anyway. Bring the bishop to attack the center. I mean, e2 is developed, but it's not where we want it to be. That's the center. I want it on one of those two squares. So Not a very difficult move to play. Okay, but he's taking my rook. Sure, happy to take that. Takes here. Let's go and take it back. All right, and what's the damage here at the end? Take it all in. We have everything kind of central. Let's hit those RPMs. Random pawn moves, don't forget. Random pawn moves. I don't even know the damage at the end. You know, like I don't know the result. But here we go. Okay. Hidden the pawns here. You take black. Oh, I understand you. But obviously we've got the white pieces, so glass has to be half full here. Push the pawns, push the pawns. Once we're out of pawn moves, then we can start thinking more about trading and other things. Let's take. Okay, guess we can sort of finish up our RPM over here. Okay, queen needs to move. I usually kind of stick in the center, so I'll probably go here just for now. Just for now. Finish up our random pawn moves and also pieces into the middle. Okay, let's see what he wants to do. Ooh, fancy move. He's kicking me out of the center, which I don't enjoy. So let's examine how can we stay anywhere close to the center. I think probably the queen has to go back, right? You see this rook here, so all these squares are off limits. These squares are off limits. Right? This square's off limits. It's tough. Like queen e2 kind of feels like the next best thing. Bring our queen back. Okay, bishop's being attacked. First thought is, you know, here because it offers a trade, but let's stick to the habits here. Bishop attacked. Let's go into the center of the board. Always the first place I will look. And we are immediately rewarded because this is the craziest move I could imagine. Yeah. Don't know how to explain that one here, folks. That's hanging multiple different ways. Knight e7 is a great fork. That's right. Now, should we be taking the rook but losing the knight? Or should we be taking the rook and the guy doesn't have a snorkel? Wow. Take free pieces. Always got to punish that no snork. Always got to punish. The habits don't let you down. Only you let the habits down. This guy just needed a snork in there. Pawn to a6. He didn't have it though. And obviously, this pawn to a6 doesn't even feel like a snorkel, does it, guys? Because the king's not even there to take advantage of it. So that's why I always have us castling kingside in the series, because then when you make a snorkel, it's immediately Utah. It's much better. When you castle this side, you always feel a little airy over here. Like you kind of have to move your king and make a snorkel. It's a bit strange. So you're much better off castling kingside for the most part. That's right, Gob. Can't be doing it. All right, well, we take that and we go on to the next one. Okay. Match the pawn in the middle. And this move has been making me think. Because the next one is this and this. I have to make sure that we have this and this. So we just need to make sure we play this one. I think it's important. So then after this, we have this bishop move and no knight, right? Okay, now we get our knight out. Great stuff. Pawn up, let's get castled. Bring the bishop back. All good here. Okay, bishop into the middle. We can take it, so obviously we will. Knight into the center, can't happen. Knight e7, next move, needed. Okay, the knight captures here. Let's start by first, kicking the knight. And let's get back to our habits here. We're making way for the bishop to come out. Want to make sure we get that snork in with h6. Capture towards the middle here. That's the middle. Always keep that in mind. Bishop needs to move. Can't go here, so f5 becomes the next best. Everything to the middle. And this is all we need. Rook to the middle. Queen up. Our other rook slides over. And we should be pretty happy here. Okay, and after this, I think it's RPM time. Random pawn move. We've done everything else that we need to do. Okay, knight into the side there. Yeah, I'm not feeling, keep going with the RPMs. Not feeling anything that has to happen over there just yet. Okay, queen here. So these ones are aimed here. What did we have for this? Queen and bishop aimed at our king. The super snorkel. That's right. Just trying to remember. Yeah, so this should take care of it here. Now, hold on. Wait a minute. I could have sworn. I got to check my notes here because I could have sworn I wrote down queen, bishop, aimed at king, super snorkel. Did we do it wrong? Do you guys mind checking your notes, just flipping back a few pages? We wrote this one down, right? Queen. I thought it was queen and bishop aimed at the king, super snorkel. What's in your notes? That's what you have as well, right? Queen in front of bishop, super snorkel. And all it took was one person having that note, and then everyone who missed class takes notes from them. Now everyone has that note. So hang on a sec. Did this guy just defeat our snorkel? Queen, bishop, aimed at king, super snorkel. Well, I think this is a statistical anomaly. And you know what, guys? If push comes to shove and it happens again, we can revisit that. But for now, I think we'll just chalk it up to a clear statistical anomaly. I've never had issues with the super snorkel before, so we're not going to lose faith. Let's match in the center. That's a capture. Knight out, knight out. I'm matching. Okay, yay, perfect. I got one as well. Bringing the knights, and it's our turn. Let's get that bishop out with a pin. Yes, feels good. Okay, we want our pawn so that our other bishop can come out here. Is this a pin? No. Can we go here? No. Can we go here? If your opponent has the full center, you do not want to be going there. So unfortunately, we only have this available. And yeah, don't stress too much about it. I know it's not the perfect, bishop move that you might like, but okay. Can we do here? Knight to d4, knight d5. No, can't play either of those. We have these two moves. So let's jump right up. Okay, that looks like a check. Let's offer a trade here. Okay. Guess we have to do this. Capture towards the center here. Rook to d1. So our queen's attacked. How do we stay central here? Maybe queen here. Stay central. Bishop, yeah, but unfortunately we're gonna lose our queen, guys, and we can't lose our queen. Yeah. Okay, we still got a pin here, but we can take it to double the pawns. So I think I would cash this one in. Ruin those pawns is exactly why we put the bishop out there in the first place. Makes sense. Let's go ahead and take that. Okay. Yeah, no comment. Okay. You got me. You got me. Let's get castled here. Just going to take that free piece. No trouble at all. We got a nice snorkel coming next. Okay, knight needs to move. Well, do I need to explain where our knight should go? The actual center. Come on, guys. Of course the center, right? That makes sense. Okay, let's complete our habits here. Feels good, man. Feels good. Okay, the queen comes back. Let's bring that rook in to the middle, of course. Okay, queen b2. Let's bring our rooks in. Bishop captures on h6. Interesting. Well, obviously in the interest here of taking free pieces, we obviously got to do this. In the interest of not hanging free pieces, we really don't want to allow this. Well, my opponent played this move. First thing I saw was this. Next thing I noticed was this. Absolutely, we are going to take free pieces. I think the squint would work a little bit better if, if it was me uncovering something, but that's our opponent's move. Okay, well, you always got to just take the position from where you find it. For example, here, I've just hopped into this position. Don't think about what you had 2 moves ago. Imagine you just sat down. Imagine you just sat down. I just landed here. What would I do? Oh, sure. Let me push a pawn. No problem. Not concerned at all, right? Let's get all those RPMs up. Absolutely. Okay, yeah, trade. Don't mind one bit. Don't mind one bit. Got another one for you. Okay. Rook into the middle. What do we got here? Maybe my king up to protect the snork as well. Could be a good one. Maybe want to get our pieces into the actual middle. And if this pawn starts to become a runaway, I may need to go claim it. Okay, let's bring our knight into the middle here. Queen b2. Okay. I guess we can go and take this one. Okay, the bishop's moving back. I say we just bring our pieces back towards the middle. But okay, let's take this. Into the center we go. Pretty happy about that. We just want to keep our pieces near the center of the board. Okay. The queen is attacking both of our pieces here. Very clever move. Well, fortunately for us. I don't think he's going to expect this. Into the center, defending. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Queen c8, definitely the best move in the position. Let's bring our king up. Yep. Okay. We'll just hit him with a nice little tactic there. Okay, and well, just as we drew it up, guys, just as we drew it up. Just gotta put your faith in the habits here. Let's, bring up our pieces here. Bishop towards the middle. Use our king. Okay. Just keep using our king here. Let's attack our opponent's pawns. Okay, go ahead and take that one. Okay. Let's make sure to take our opponent's pawn here. Active king. Okay, bishop. Let's go into the center. And green skies ahead. We've got our pawns here. Let's keep going all the way, all the way. All the way. Well, that wasn't too bad now, was it? We take those. All you had to do was follow the habits. And thank you, Alexandra, for the raid. Much appreciated. We are learning chess from the very bottom here. GG. And look at the way it all worked out at the end. You just got to stick to the habits, guys. All I see are people chiming in when they think they can spot a better move, but no one is ready to admit the tough conversation that anytime there's a good move, you would have played a worse one. Think about it in this game. Let's say this game right here. There's 52 moves. Now, you guys type your comments maybe 5 times, maybe 10 times. That's a lot during a game where you see that there's a better move than the one played. Okay, we played 52 moves. What about the other 40? You also playing a better move than that? Well, actually, no. No. You're actually bad at chess, so you're playing a worse move than that. So congratulations. You might have played 10 better moves than me, but you would have played 40 worse moves. Unless you're following the habits, of course, then you would have been right on par. So don't get in your head too much. But oh, why aren't we doing this? Why aren't we doing that? Focus on what we are doing. We're at 1,078. Thank you for the gifted sub. After the raid, making sure that the raider is subbed. I love it. Thank you very much, VC. That's a kind gifted sub right there. Well beyond that's an immediate circle membership right there. Hello, HD. $1,078, and we're still pushing. Still going forward. Hello, champ. We have some more people who are hopefully ready to build a habit or two. Five-minute games. Next. Pawn into the center. We always start like this. Then comes the knight. The other knight follows. Then it's the bishop. You guys already know this. Get castled as soon as possible. Very important. Okay, we're going to take that. We take everything. There's not a thing I won't take. Bishop needs to move. We never go in front of our pawn. And if we want to keep hitting the center, this is a guaranteed move. Okay, at this point, we have no pawn in the center, so we must make a claim. It is going to be pawn to d4. Let's not forget our biggest habit, h3, the snorkel. So we can breathe later. You're going to need it. Trust me. Right? We're stepping in the pool. I know right now you're thinking, well, what the hell do we need this for? But think about it. You step in the pool in the shallow end. I mean, you can touch the bottom. So how come you went through all those classes learning how to tread water? What was the point of that? Well, that's because the water is going to get deeper the further you walk in. But you have to know how to tread water before you start walking in. You can't just expect to know how to do it when you're in the deep end struggling. So we get the snorkel in early so that we don't have to worry about it later. Knight in here. Shouldn't be a surprise. We're going to take. Shocker. You guys already knew that, though. Our knight needs to move. Where are we going to put it? That's the center of the board. I'm going to put it in the center of the board. Next. This bishop hasn't moved. It would love to join the action. Where's the action? Always in the center. So that's going to be pretty much the move, guaranteed. Unless he makes a move like that, I'll take it. Makes a move like that, I'll take it. Makes a move like that, we already know our next move. Came here for the chess, but I learned how to swim. And based on your username, I believe you. Right here, guess what we're going to do? We're going to take. And now, the pieces come into the middle. Into the middle. The queen comes up. The rook slide over. Very simple. All about the middle. We have two bishops hitting the center, happy. Rook aimed at the middle, happy. This rook wants to go here. What does that tell you? You have to bring the queen up. Oh, pause. We got a trade? Sure. Rook into the middle. Okay, great. So we got this position. We got our rooks into the middle. We're in an endgame. We got some pawns here that we can move. Let's start moving some of them. Here, here, here. I'm just going to chuck the pawns up the board. We've got a safe king. We're in an endgame, which means we are slowly going to be getting our king into the middle. Got a couple pawn moves we can chuck up here. Do I ever care which ones you do? No. You could play pawn here. You could play pawn here. It really doesn't matter. We want to get our king in. Oh, that's a trade. Just pawns, yes. King, yes. Those are the things we want here. Okay, let's just keep throwing them up the board there. Can even offer a trade right in the middle. We're about to have a king join the action. Please, I can't wait. It's the end game, so it's safe, right? You might be worried about moving this king at a different stage of the game. Am I worried now? No, I'm not. It's the end game, baby. I don't know what you're doing, but I know what I'm doing. King straight into the middle. Straight into the middle. Okay. And then maybe we can try to take this pawn there. This is why we use our king. Try to do things like this, so we'll go for it. Shout out to our opponent, though, for real, for actually getting the king into the middle. Okay, and king into the middle. Yes. Going to make sure to utilize this king as an aggressive attacking piece, right? We're straight into the middle, and we're just going to, I don't know, try to run in circles here. Go crazy. Use our king the best of our ability. Okay, it's a trade right there. Try to hunt the guy's pawns down. Okay. I mean, the whole end game is about using your pieces to attack your opponent's pawns. And I mean, literally, like, this is all I've got. This is my whole blueprint. You're looking at it. You guys are looking at it. I'm just using my king like a mega attacking piece. This guy's going after my pawn. I'm not going to let him have it that easily. But he wants to help me start pushing this thing. That's fine with me. It's all about the active king. I'm a bandit. I'm just basically full steam ahead. I see what I want. I see the target, and I just hunt it down. King, bishop, that's it. Not really regard for the rest of the board here. Hey, if you got nothing ahead of you, then time to push that pawn. Oh, that's a capture. You guys know we already do that. Okay, let's get our queen in there. Oh, that's another capture. Let's do that. Okay, let's bring our king. Important to get that king down. You know, close to that pawn. Oh, this is going to be a nice capture for us. And now we can bring our king down here, because from here We can practice our homework assignment. Let's see. We want to use our queen and king together. Let's see how it works. Trying to figure out which way he's trying to go here, you know? Oh, okay, he's going to go that way. So I'm going to head back this way. Okay, we're going to head back. Oh, sorry, he's going that way. Okay, we're heading back that way. Apologies. Yep, we're just going to head back this way. Okay. Okay. Oh. And we're able to do it. It might fail a couple times, but how much time does that really cost you? Even me going side to side doesn't even take a second. Not even a whole second. So it's just such a foolproof technique. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Maybe we draw, right? But if you have a couple seconds, there's no better technique in the game for you than this. You might be looking at me saying, hang on a sec. I mean, this is pretty advanced here. You're just clowning on the guys. No, this is a homework assignment for you guys. I already gave you this last week. You don't have to be a strong player to do this. Guys, all we did was zigzag our pieces into the center, okay? Literally. Okay, from here, we had to identify where the king is. Once your king's in the middle, you're just trying to get your queen to one of these squares. In order for you to do that, you need to get your king to one of these squares. Secured our king, secured our queen. Perfect. If the king went here, we would have our checkmate. But he didn't. He walked this way. Okay, so let's walk back over to this side. Oh, he didn't go there. Damn it. Well, let's walk back over to this side. Oh, look, it worked this time. And how long did it take going side to side like that? Let's see. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1.2 seconds. Remember, you're doing this with all pre-moves. 1.2 seconds. Even if you have 3 seconds to checkmate your opponent, you can go back and forth like that easily, because once you have him in this position, it's the same every time. You make a waiting move with your king. Opponent, doesn't matter if his king's here or here, he's only going to have 2 squares every single time. Whichever one he's on, he has to move to the other one. So at this point, I know his next move. And I pre-move this so I can expect his next one. So I can pre-move this. And then wherever my queen just was, put my king there. And then checkmate is always going to be on that square. Every single time. And so how many moves did it take me from the start? And this was with the king, with us having trouble boxing him out. It's okay, right here. So we're on move 53, okay? And we ended on move 85. 53 to 85. So how many seconds do you need to execute this checkmate? 53 to 85? What are we talking about, guys? What are we talking about? Less than 5 for sure. Less than 5 for sure. This is harder than the rook-king mate? I hope so. I mean, if you think this is easier, you're a damn genius. But is it learnable? Of course it is. It's the exact same every time. You're pre-moving into the center. You'll always be able to get into the center. Like, you can always claim the center of the board when you have the king and queen. So you know for sure that your opponent's going to be somewhere on the outskirts of the center once you get there. Right? Okay. Then you're targeting these squares, and it's not going to be perfect. Maybe the guy's going to move the wrong way, but always make your waiting moves here That way, for example, if I had gone pre-moved here, maybe I'm thinking he's going to go there. I pre-move here. It's stalemate. But this is always safe. You know, if the king's over there, it's nice and safe away from the king. He goes there. Okay, I got to chase him down again. But it literally took just over 3 seconds. At this point, you're guaranteeing yourself a checkmate once you know the pattern in less than 5 seconds. And this was with my opponent going back and forth, right? If he had just the first time gone into the right corner, like here, if he had played this move, and we would have been done on move 73, which is exactly 20 moves, which is exactly 2 seconds. It feels like easy to stalemate. No, but it's impossible to stalemate. It's easy to stalemate if you do it wrong. Sure. It's easy to stalemate any checkmate if you do it wrong. You actually can't stalemate this one. What if he keeps going back and forth? Look, this is what I'm telling you. If you have, at the start of this endgame, if you have 3 seconds, are you telling me that you can checkmate with 3 seconds in this endgame? Can you do it? Of course you can't do it. You're lying through your teeth if you tell me you can do it. Because I know that you can't do it, I'm giving you a method where it's possible with very high likelihood to checkmate in 3 seconds. Very high likelihood once you know the pattern. It's all with pre-moves. You're not going to do it first, like the first time perfect. Of course, you're gonna mess it up. You might stalemate. You might lose your queen. You might run out of time. But my point is, if you have less than 5 seconds, trust me, you already can't checkmate. I guarantee it. So why not give this a try? So you're saying, what if the king goes back and forth? If the king goes back and forth literally forever, you don't checkmate. But you were never going to checkmate anyway. And what's the likelihood that he goes back and forth forever? Very low. It's first of all unlikely your opponent even avoids it at all. I would say you're 80% to get it the first time. You're then 80% to get it the second time. I mean, eventually the percentages just work in your favor. The guy's gonna end up trapped eventually. And if he doesn't, congrats, he made a draw. But that's not gonna happen in all your games. I do this checkmate all the time, even in my regular blitz games. It works well over 90% of the time. So it's just like with anything. What if it doesn't happen? What if it goes wrong? Sure, it can. But that's like with anything. I mean, if you have 5 seconds to perform this mate, you're not checkmating anyway. So at least enjoy the opportunity that you're very, very good, 90% chance to do it with this method. Even with our opponent dodging it 2 times, it really only took us 3.3 seconds. And obviously in this case, the beauty of this pattern is I have 2 minutes here. So if you use this pattern, when you have 5 seconds, bust it out. Try your best. See if you can make it work. But guess what? If you have 2 minutes on the clock, you can just do the same thing. You can use the same pattern, except just don't pre-move it because you don't need to. Now you have a 100% guaranteed checkmate. This is the easiest thing in your life. Right? You just zigzag, but don't pre-move it. Be the easiest mate you've ever done in your life. Okay. We got our king into the middle, right? And at this point, maybe instead of doing this, you could make another king move. If you have 2 minutes, if you're sitting there, you're having like martini, like you're just chilling, beach chair out, you got 2 minutes, sure. Maybe you don't need to pre-move this. I pre-move this because if I have 3 seconds, I don't have time to sit there and be like, okay, what is he gonna move? But yeah, I might do this. And all of a sudden I got my queen on the magic square. And then wherever my opponent moves, Yeah, maybe I don't need to make a king move anymore. I got 2 minutes. I can just sit here and be like, okay, he went there, I go here. And then put my king in and mate. Like, it becomes just a 100% guaranteed mate if you have more time. So you're learning a method that works with less than 5 seconds, and it works 1,000% guaranteed if you have more time than that. So you really only need one method for the rest of your chess career. Now, of course, you can learn another method if you want to, but I'm just saying, keep things simple. Only learn one thing, and it's good for low time, and it's good if you have lots of time. Seems like a win-win. Trust me, there's no one in chat who's going to be capable of checkmating a lone king with the queen in less than 5 seconds. No chance, unless you use this. Even a 1000 can produce this checkmate. You're going to look like a absolute psycho if you bust it out correctly for the first time, but you don't have to be a GM to do this. It's just a learnable pattern. And I've shown you all the steps that are involved in it. If you're quick with the mouse and you know literally how to pre-move, the barrier here doesn't exist. The barrier is just practice, repetition, and maybe mouse speed, but there's not like a title holding you back. You're all capable of hanging your queens. I get it. Believe me. First couple times I did this, I hung my queen too. You might think that you're like got everything protected. It'll take some getting used to. It's definitely not going to be perfect, but you practice this 100 times, I guarantee your 100th attempt and your first attempt are going to be much different. And maybe at the end of the game, you have 15 seconds left instead of 5. All of a sudden, you could pre-move your king to the middle, and then you have 13 seconds, and then you could take your time to just execute that last part of it. I mean, you got 13 seconds. I think you could make like 3 or 4 decent moves. Just make sure your queen always ends up on this square. The king will always only have 2 squares. Easy checkmate from there. And we are at 1086. $1,086. Let's continue. Pawn in the middle. Oh, a trade. Oh, capture again. Oh, don't mind if I do, buddy. Capture, capture, capture. Oh, I thought he was going to let me go all the way there. Okay, let's get back to the habits here. Bring the knight out. Okay, got our other knight. Need to occupy the center as well. Let's get our bishop out. Let's get castled. Okay, I guess can't quite get in the middle with that move, so I suppose just d3 for us. d3 goes here. Time to get our bishop out. We got our snorkel as well. Yeah, probably going to go for our snorkel. Okay, we're getting attacked here, but I'm not too concerned. We have a move that we're going to play every single time anyway. Queen into the middle. This looks pretty damn solid, and let's get our snorkel up next, and obviously rook's in. Not concerned at all. What bad things could possibly happen? Okay, is this a math class incident? Queen takes b2, hitting our rook and hitting the knight. So, first of all, let's take stock of the situation right now, right? Count things up. Just want to make sure. Okay, it is the 2 pieces for the rook. Okay, and even the pawns are dead even. So we have these 2 pieces for the rook. This is feeling pretty good. Now, in this spot here, we have 2 pieces under attack. They need to be defended at the exact same time. Well, we can't hang a piece, so, geez, I'm going to sit here. It's going to be tough to find, but we are going to find a move that defends both of these pieces at the same time. It's there. It might take you some time to find it. I can appreciate this is not an easy move to make, but this is the move that covers everything. Queen e1. You wouldn't find it? No problem. Even if you lose your knight here, what am I complaining about? I got 2 bishops. The guy's king looks completely open. But we do not hang free pieces. Pawn up. That looks like something we can take. Just going to go straight on in. Don't mind if I do. Let's see here. What's he going to do? Just taking that pawn in the middle. All right, let's get back to some habits here. I've had to react so much in the last little while. Like, I haven't had time to make a goddamn habitual move here. This is the squint. Doesn't look too good. How about some goddamn habits? How about that? Let's not forget where we came from. Okay. Knight into the middle. We got this great tactic in. I feel like we need to head over to the center here. Rook in the middle. Feeling pretty good about that. Okay. Takes there. What have we got for him now? Maybe a queen move into the middle here. Offering a trade. That doesn't look too bad at all. Into the middle. Trade. Probably my favorite move we played so far. Okay, let's take that back. Knight needs to move. As I always say, you know, if you're in the center, best place, safest place, always right back where you came from. There we go. Let's go ahead and take that. We are in an endgame, by the way, so king into the middle is going to become a priority for me. And as I say that, he kind of encourages me, so I'm not too upset about that, guys. RPMs as well. Would maybe like to start pushing this pawn here. Let's do that. Let's do that. Random pawn moves. Okay, bishop hits. Can't really go in the center, but we can definitely move so that we're near the center. Rook takes here, and with my hawk-like vision, I'm able to see bishop e6, which is a basic fork. Very nice. We'll go ahead and pick that up, and look at that. It's just going to be a resignation. The guy's not even going to continue, which I never recommend you do. Always make sure you're playing on. Don't trust your opponent to finish the game off properly. I certainly wouldn't. He needs help, MC. He's not following the habits. I mean, did you see his opening? This isn't the habits. This is nonsense. Nonsense, I tell you. Land Beyond, thank you for the 43 months with Prime. Now, can we lock in and make 1100 a reality? We're going to need a tight circle for this one. Going to need the full support of the program here. Going to need the full support of the program. All right. Can we make it? 1100, just around the corner. Okay. Into the middle. We match the knight. We match the bishop so as not to allow this. We've discussed this many, many times. Now it's safe so that we can castle. There we go. Okay, and let's get our snorkel out. Nice capture there for us. This pawn can go up. You know where else it can go? It can even go one square further. This is a perfectly fine move, but we're ready to move this pawn and we can safely move it into the center. That's a yes from me. Every time. Level 1, d6. Level 2, look for those d5 moments. Okay, let's take that. Queen needs to move. I can't go into the center, so next best thing, I guess. Queen here. What do we need to do? We need to move this bishop. These are the options. Okay, let's get that bishop out here. Hitting the center, of course. Knight out. Okay, let's get our rooks into the middle. Don't mind this at all. Not even thinking. It's just straight into the middle. Don't need to calculate too much. We have our snorkel here, so nothing to worry about with our king. Okay, queen's attacked. Do we have the center available? We do not. So probably just going to go somewhere nearby. Hey, that's a trade. Perfect. Go ahead and do that. Take, take. Yep. We want to do all trades. Queen takes back. All right. What do we got now? Queen takes. I think it's time for our RPMs. Knight back. All right. Let's continue. RPMs. RPMs. Random pawn moves. Okay, that's a capture here. Okay, let's continue those pawn moves over here. Queen's being hit. Okay, it's kind of forcing me down the file here. I'm happy to take that. Okay, that's a trade. No problem. And he's coming in with the snorkel. But you see, he came in with the snorkel late. He had to do it there. So I would say things are working out reasonably. Let's get our king into the middle if we can. Okay, he's bringing the rook up. Can't really do much right now. Let's use our rook to attack some pawns. Okay, we can take that. Okay, he's going after us here. I can't even take this, honestly. So I think it's just time to get into the middle here. Middle of the board. And I feel always good because, I mean, look, the guy's just not... he's not using his king. Okay, I got one pawn, right? We're obviously just pushing it up the board here. But you see what I mean? Like, this is the difference between you and the people at your rating. You are going to be using your king. It might look stupid. We have no pawns. Like, we lost this pawn, we literally lost every pawn. But you have to put a value on the king. Our opponent's king has not moved at all. Literally, he castled and he hasn't touched it since. There's a huge difference. Now, this is an example where our opponent's going to lose a rook, and the poor guy's like moving his king because he got checked, not because he decided to. I'm just saying, king activity, no one's doing. It's a damn shame. Okay, if we're trying to defend here, I feel like king, like in front of everything, is the way to go. So now we need this rook. Let's see what we can do here. Okay. Okay, we have a runaway here. Okay. We have a real runaway. Just keep our king kind of in front of the action here. Yeah, we got one. Okay, how do we take these? We're in front of the pawns, which is probably a good thing. So I guess we have to use the rook somehow. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, let's maybe come down here with the rook. King in front of the pawns is really the only thing we can really offer. Okay, we got another runaway. We got another runaway. And our opponent is going to resign because you know what? He knows that we know how to do this checkmate, don't we, guys? Very nice. We are at 1100. 1102 to be precise. 1102. And most likely pieces to show up at the end of the game that you're going to need to mate with: rook and queen. We have a checkmate in place for both of them. Both of them. Not bad at all. 1102, and we're on the up and up. So many resignations, you're going to forget how to checkmate. That's why it's important to do the homework, work on it in the background, because the goddamn opponents are just resigning all the time. You're never going to get a chance to practice until you have to do it for real.